Hello everybody, this is Allshouse Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. In the previous episode, we helped prove to the Justice Minister that his daughter was in fact not kidnapped and got him on our side. And we learned about a manipulator, potentially another spirit with the powers of the dead, but one who can manipulate the living. But just as things were getting interesting, well, something's gone wrong at Temsek Park. Time to go see what's happening. Temsek Park, the sign of the little lady Camilla's abduction tonight, and the place where an important piece of evidence, the music box, was hidden. Wonder why our lady detective is looking so dejected. Well, at least she isn't dead, but what did she find? Huh? What's he doing here? La la la, let me spend a moment's time with you, my love. The world will not end if the food delivery is a little late, la la la. Oh wait, it's already ice cold. No wine bottle under the cap this time? Oh, there you are, Sissel. From your dejected expression, I gather you didn't find what you were looking for. Right, I can't find the music box anywhere. But I found something else instead. Something horrible. Horrible? What is it? There, in the grass. You'd better see for yourself. Looks like a dead body. It nearly died when I saw it. I suppose now that we found it, we can't just leave it there, can we? Nope, I suppose not. Ah. Wanted to see if something would happen. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site! Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods! You there! You're talking to me, aren't you? I have some leaflets for you, leaflets I know you'll be very interested in. I urge you to peruse it thoroughly, examine it in detail. Never mind that right now. Do you remember your name? My name, my name. What does my name matter when there are more important things to worry about? Okay. Come now and study these tracts with me, my brother. Come and learn about the Rock of the Gods with me. The night is no longer young. As a matter of fact, daybreak is approaching, but we are young. Look, I don't have time to get involved in your way of life, but I am interested in your way of death. So let's go back to 4 minutes before your death. Temsek Park. Alright. And so I made up my mind. I resolved to live here in this park and defend it. Okay, and what does that have to do with this Rock of the Gods you mentioned? You still don't appear to understand. It's written quite clearly in the 4th leaflet in great detail. Excuse me, but I have to use the restroom. Eek! So that's when the abduction happened. I'm coming! Just hold on. I'll be right there. I've located the target, beauty. Girl of the right age, coming out of the right apartment building at the right time. Wait, all this happened 4 minutes ago? Okay. Well, technically speaking, it happened 4 minutes before his death. Forget I said anything. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Forget I said anything. Good evening, young lady. Won't you come with me? Eek! Oh gods, what do I do? What should I do? I have to do something. Ugh. What in the world? What just happened? Oh, that's Mino. Mino? Mino the mascot, the symbol of Temsic Park. Forget about the name of that big creepy lump of concrete. I'm talking about the way it changed direction. Did you see that? Yes, I did. We witnessed it with our own eyes. The power of the Rock of the Gods. That was the power of the gods. The power of the gods saved that little girl. And then the same power very deliberately crushed you instead. Yes, precisely. That is called the mischief of the gods. What is the mischief of the gods? Or was it a ghost trick? But nah, it couldn't have been a ghost trick. No ghost trick could change the direction of something that heavy in midair. But wait a minute. What if there was somebody with much greater powers than me? Well, let's find out. Look at that. There's another flame besides mine. Oh, so that is the flame of the gods, is it? But hold on. Your spirit is a flame too, isn't it? Yeah, so? Pardon me, but are you a god? I sincerely doubt it. Last minute, that big lump of concrete made a huge swing to one side. It's probably the flames doing. But who could it be? I definitely believe it's either a god or somebody god-related. Maybe I better try talking to this person. Yes, let's, because we're not going to be able to solve it without their help. Without their help. What the? Person with much greater powers than me? It's you? Hey! Sissel! Yep, he's back, and apparently dead. Missile is manipulator. Manipulate you all. He's not. Oh my, it's Missile! You look well for being dead. Did you see what I did? I did it. I tried really, really hard and I did it. I saved Miss Camilla! Are you telling me I was done in by a puppy dog? Missile, what's going on? How did you get the powers of the dead? I'm glad you asked. After Miss Camilla went out and you left. Okay, I know it's supposed to be a bit of a trick to make it look like his tail is just constantly wagging, but it looks like he has multiple tails. Missile secretly Kitsune. I worked like crazy to make my own path, and I did it! Hey, that's actually rather impressive for a round doorknob. And then I followed Miss Camilla out into the big wide world. And then, here at this park, I found her at last. Yes, you guessed it, I barked. You bet I did, and I went running after her too. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. And then I guess I died. And then I was unconscious for a little while. When I came to, it was all over. Poor Miss Camilla. Crushed under that big scary lump. Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, little lady. Please forgive me. Miss Camilla! I had to rescue Miss Camilla. It was up to me. I cried out from the depths of my heart. And then... I can't tell you how surprised I was, but I bet you understand, right? Better than probably anybody else could. And I remembered what you did for me, how you saved me. So, you went back, right? Back to 4 minutes before the little lady's death. You bet I did. Yeah, and in Missel's case, the world of the dead is green for him. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Now's my chance, I thought. I saw the core. I don't know. It looks pretty far. I stretch out my paw towards the core. Oh, how I felt at that moment. I'd love for you to be able to feel it too. Go ahead, Sissel. Go ahead and try it for yourself. Yep. Missile has a much longer reach than Sissel does. I can't believe it. How could you connect over such a great distance? Well, they don't call me Missile for nothing. An intercontinental ballistic missile. Huh, and so then you manipulated that Mino thing and threw it aside? Right on top of my head? Well, no, actually. Huh? I can't manipulate things like you can, Sissel. You can't? Then how did you... I didn't know what to do. Then I happened to see something out of the corner of my eye. And it had a core too. A single leaf hanging from the tree. I tried reaching out to the leaf. What in the world? I can't manipulate things, but apparently I can swap them. As long as the two things have the same shape, that is. Note, same shape, not same size. Swap things with the same shape. Go ahead and try it. Press swap. That's incredible. So that's how you saved your mistress, is it? And that's how I became caught... Nope. And that's how I became caught up in this, is it? I'm very sorry. My powers were too meager. Meager? Because you see, I saw one more. I happened to notice one more core. There was something with the exact same shape stuck in the branches of a tree. Hey, you're right. If Mino could be swapped again with that, then the disaster wouldn't have to rain down on my head. A little too similar between Missile and him. But what is that thing? It's too big to be a leaf. Whatever it is, I'd much prefer it on my head than Mino. So why didn't you swap the Missile? I couldn't. I can stretch out my paw a little further than you, Sissel. But this was just too far for me. I couldn't reach. Oof. And it's pointed, so that was extra bad. I must admit it's a fascinating spectacle of a death, if I do say so myself. I kept retrying over and over, seeing if there was anything I could do. But there's something you can do now. Huh? And we work together, you and me. Sissel, you think so? I don't plan on letting anybody die in front of me tonight. Do you think you could help me? Of course! Naturally. So, we're going to drop that Mino thing in a different spot. Okay, let's try it. Let's go back again to 4 minutes before. Now, there is an achievement you can get here by failing. Okay, let's try it. Let's go back again to 4 minutes before. Alright, let's get started. 4 minutes from now, you'll swap Mino with the leaf. Then you have to swap Mino with something else. Something with the same shape. Oh, I believe that's a rugby ball! Okay, rugby ball, huh? But with the rugby ball where it is now, Missile can't reach it. So that means I have to move it closer somehow. Looks like you and I will have to work together on that one, Missile. Okay, I'm ready! Whenever you want to use my swap trick, just press V. That way you'll be able to control me. And then if you press V, control will come back to me. Okay, let's try it. For the time being, Missile's gonna stay where he is. Together we can stop Mino from hurting anybody. First of all, we want to get to that orb as quickly as possible. Alright, Missile, your powers are the key to this time. Okay, I'm ready. I can swap anything that has the same shape. Just call on me if you find anything you want to try. Probably the best thing to do is just try a bunch of things and see how it goes. If you see something we can swap, I should use V. Alright, move the seesaw. Jump to the ball. Then we gotta wait for him. And apparently his name is Dabira. Phew, here you come already. I swore to myself not to repeat my mistakes. Mistakes? When somebody's in trouble, you should lend them a hand. Otherwise, you'll definitely regret it. And now the recklessness of youth has taken over, giving me lightning fast speed. I have been thinking, if we could stop this man from running, maybe he wouldn't get squished. It won't be easy to stop me once the recklessness of youth has taken over. Stop him, eh? Well, I don't know about stopping, but we can certainly slow him down. Spin, spin, spin. Wow, I didn't see this coming. Don't you know the first thing about the Globe Climber? Huh? Even little children treat it with the respect it deserves. They know that unless you spin it gently, there's no stopping it. It does look pretty dangerous. Looks like I'm destined to fly through the air like this for a while. This might just buy us some time. Maybe he'll just keep spinning around like that the whole 4 minutes. I'm sorry, but I don't think I would stand for it that long. But anyway, at least we stopped him from running for a while. Let's do what we can while we have this chance. Okay, now we want to hop into this love letter. And then we want to mess with this umbrella. Oh, that was close. If it hit the ball, it could have knocked it down. And all this umbrella can be used for knocking the rugby ball down. Don't forget about my powers. And don't forget about my recklessness of youth. Ugh, these guys' voices are too similar. I keep mixing them up. Okay, now we want to make our way back down. And you're gonna want to make a... Damn. Can't make a save right now. Would you look at that? Sure are a whole lot of round things around here. Oh boy! That means it's time for me, right? Oh boy! Not yet. My hair is also round. Let's see, to use yeah, tab V. Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, we're gonna make a save here. Continue playing, yes. Manipulate the seesaw. Now, normally we want to leave this open for the sake of the achievement, and I'm just going to make the save here. We are going to close the lid. Actually, that was a big mistake. I forgot we wanted to swap the baseball with the basketball. Which means that save is now pointless. Alright. Which means I'm probably going to want Missile to... no, because I still need to get Sissel to the dumpster. So I'll leave him in the oil drum for now. I do kind of wish this game kind of had a means of speeding things up a little bit. Because otherwise now we're just waiting for him to jump off this... There we go. Because we can't move the seesaw if the basketball's on it. Okay. Now we make the save. Yes, we continue playing. Enter the land of the dead. Swap to Missile. Swap the basketball and the baseball. Move him over to the tire. Swap back to Sissel. Let's make another quick save. And then we close the dumpster lid. Swap this Sissel, or Miss. I'm gonna be doing that a lot, aren't I? And swap the tire with the basketball. And because it falls over there, extraordinary failure challenge. Chapter 4, fail by keeping the ball away from Mino. Let's see. Because it is now out of range, and technically not the same shape to swap with Mino. Now we're going to return to title. And then we're going to load back in. Excuse me? What was the point of the save? Whatever, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Seeing as how I don't need to close the, dumpster lid anymore, we actually do not need Sissel. So, let's swap these two. Hop into the tire. Then we're gonna, not what I wanted to do, swap the tire with the basketball, which this time the rugby ball will fall into the dumpster, right where we need it. There, we moved the ball. What do you think, Missile? With the ball there, I think I can do it. In just a few seconds, you'll swap Mino with the leaf. And then from there, you can swap Mino one more time. Final moment is near, Missile. Are you ready? You bet! Okay, watch me, Sissel. Here I go. Finishing touches. You can do it, Missile. Swap Mino with that ball. And it won't let you swap out of the ghost world. There, how's that? My head has been spared. Truly, that was a try worthy of the gods. Now Mino is right where he belongs. We did it again, didn't we? Didn't we? Fate averted. Now nobody has to die. Except for one brave little somebody. Huh? I'm talking about you, Missile. Oh, me? I guess you're right. I'm still dead, aren't I? So now let's go back and save your life. Wait a minute. What is it? Now that I think about it, I think I want to stay dead a little longer. What? When I was alive, I couldn't even help Miss Camilla when she was in trouble. I want to be able to protect Miss Camilla. And to do that, I need these powers I have now. I see. Perfectly understandable. Even I wish I had powers like that. Hey, we just saved you. Don't wish your life away already. Oh, of course, you're right. Nope, slipped into Missile again. Missile's voice. Okay, Missile, have it your way. By the way, Mr. Reckless Youth, there's a certain detective who needs that music box you found. When we get back to the present time, could you give it to her? Certainly, you have my word. Let's go back then to the present. And so, Camilla ended up in the hands of the kidnappers. We weren't able to change that part. Lynn listened to my story without saying anything. I'm sorry. I wish there was something else I could have done. No, you did the best you could. I'm sure she's alright. After all, she has me. Okay, I know she's probably holding it by the stem of the leaf, but it looks like she's just balancing a stemless leaf on her finger. Missile? Are you in there? Miss Lynn, leave Miss Camilla to me. I know I don't look like much right now, but I'm sure I can help her. Missile? Eek! Miss Lynn! And away he goes. I'm going to leave it up to Missile. It kinda looks like Missile's being left up to the wind. Oh! I have something to give you. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. Aren't you forgetting your promise? Oh, pardon me, pardon me. My apologies, this is for you. By the way, if you hear my voice squeaking, that's entirely intentional for this character. Oh. You kept the music box safe, didn't you? Thank you. Not at all, I was only doing what the Rock of the Gods would have wanted. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? He's mesmerized by my beauty. Hey, the cat's not allowed to get your tongue. Excuse me, but are you... No, it couldn't be. Have we met before? Aren't you that little girl from that time? I'll never forget it. It was 10 years ago in this park. 10 years ago? Are you talking about... Have you met this strange man before, Lynn? I don't remember, but he said 10 years ago in this park. It can only be one thing that I can think of. Looks like I better talk to Mr. Leaflet here. Here in this park, the gods surely control fate. Today, 10 years from that day, we met once again. Meet once again. I mean, Temsick Park. If that isn't the power of the gods, then what else is it? It can't just be coincidence. But apparently you know our lady detective here. Could you tell us all about it? About what happened 10 years ago? Yes, of course, I was actually just about to do that. What's this Rock of the Gods you keep mentioning? Don't you know? It's right there in front of us. Oh, missile. Wait a minute, you say GODS, but do you mean DOGS? Of course not, don't be silly, this is no time for ridiculous word games. You are standing just above the Rock of the Gods now. Take a good look at that monument. Monument? Rock of the Gods, Temsick Park. Rock of the Gods? The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there these 10 years. You would think some government agency would have dug it up by now and sent it to some facility for study. Especially given recent events. It's been there these 10 years. Ever since that day it flew down from the heavens and showed us a miracle. A miracle? So this rock you've been talking about, is it a meteorite? Precisely. It dropped from the sky on that day 10 years ago. Yes, of course. Surely you know all about it. Me? That day I just happened to be passing through this park. I had no idea that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down, and through the gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl. Eek! Now just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly. I knew I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. The tension was so thick, it was painful, just when I couldn't stand it any longer. That's when it happened. The sky suddenly burned bluish white. When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it, one of those beautiful fragments, pierced into the criminal's back. The judgment of the gods was brought down on the park that day. "10 years ago, the little girl that was you was saved by the Rock of the Gods." Oh my, I can't believe it. The Rock of the Gods was given the name Temsick, and still today, it lies sleeping deep in the park's earth. never knew about this Temsic. I always thought Detective Jowd was the one who saved me. You were very young then, and you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage. Of course you wouldn't remember. Well, that's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. Strange you never heard of it, Lynn. It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what happened. I avoided the news and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know about anything. Why I didn't know anything about it. The meteorite was named Temsic after the name of this park that it fell in. And then the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Now an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning the park into a housing site. I'll never forget the miracle I witnessed that day, and so I've taken up residence in this park and am trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. That is my mission. I see. I'm taking you with me, Missile. So 10 years ago, a little girl that was Lynn wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that, but Detective Jowd, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Temsic thing. If he knew... Nah, and the man died, and took his life. What was that confession of his all about? Rock of the Gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago changed the destinies of many people's lives, like ripples on a pond when a pebble is dropped in. Every answer I get, I learn about a new mystery. Will I be able to break the chain of mysteries before dawn? Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decide to meet up again at the minister's office. But there are a few things I want to ask Detective Jowd. Still going. We found the music box, Detective Jowd. Oh, good job, Lynn. I knew you would. Once everything has been resolved, I wanted you to give this to him. Him? You mean Inspector Cabanela, right? I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me. Detective Jowd? Well then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing it, you know. Yeah! See? He calls that a knack. Looks more like brute strength to me. Here you are. You should find scorch marks on the grip. Scorch marks? When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's the kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears. Why would little Camilla use something like that? I don't know. Maybe it's because she's a detective's daughter. Not leaving any evidence behind and all that. In that case, in the case report, there was mentions of some scorch marks. When it happened, Camilla was watching from her hiding place. She saw the flame run to the gun, something she naturally didn't include in her design. I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with a picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame, too. Those marks should match up with the ones on the gun. In other words, it proves the contraption existed in that room that day. And it didn't work the way the little girl intended, is that right? Hold up. Don't come any closer! Alright. Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design. But that angle was never brought up in court. And so, as Justice Minister, I must call off the execution at this point. I knew I was right. It wasn't Detective Jowd. Now we can finally prove that. Thank goodness. Thank you, Lynn. In those eyes of yours, I see the eyes of that little girl from 10 years ago. Good. Sissel. If you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would be gone by now, without ever having known any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. Things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened. Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and got involved in their fates. The only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. Things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow. I just know it. That's why I need to ask you a few more questions, in order to find out the truth about us. Fair enough. Fire away. Sissel told me about it, Detective Jowd. Hold on, I need a drink. About the manipulator? Yes, and it looks like this manipulator really did a number on the minister, too. Ah! Please don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him. Oh. Sissel, do you think that's what happened to me, too? What are you talking about, Lynn? Don't tell me. You were manipulated, too? There was always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. That image of the one who shot me. Now I see the possibility of a new explanation. But who is it, and why did they do it? That contraption was the birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it? That's right. Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. Yeah, no surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine. Right? I knew it. See, Detective Jowd? No, I'm afraid I don't see. I told Detective Jowd about it. Told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight in a completely different place. That's very strange indeed. Junkyard on the edge of town? I've never even heard of the place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption. You haven't? That old pigeon guy. Who in the world is he? What the... Detective Jowd, you must have heard this name before. Temsik. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there. So you found out about that, did you? Yeah, the meteorite saved little Lynn's life. That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day. In that case, I don't get it. If it's true, doesn't it mean you didn't steal somebody's life away? What are you talking about? Detective Jowd, you told me that 10 years ago, the person who killed the perpetrator in the park was you. What? But it was the meteorite. I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away. No question about it. It was entirely my fault. I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come down. At that point, I was already a murderer. More like attempted murderer. That's not true! You were trying to save me. Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it. Huh? On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place. Another place? Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who was being questioned escaped. Wow, I didn't know about that. I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him. Bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was young and green detective, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic and got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault. Detective Jowd. All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn. So the man who grabbed me died that day. His last 10 years. I've never forgotten his face. Then a few years after that, when my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was fate, my punishment for what I'd done. I painted pictures in my cell, nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life. I didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait. The final face I wanted to remember. The final face. The face of the man in the park that day. Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was my face. You telling me I was the man in the park that time? That's right. The face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole, of the man who was pronounced dead at the scene. But hold on, Detective Jowd. That can't be true. I just met Sissel for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me. By the way, the name that I know the man in the park that day by isn't Sissel. What? From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy? Mr. Minister. Inspector Cabanela, where are you? Just be quiet and listen. This is our demand. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanela? And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life is a life, even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. You'll note he didn't have his verbal tick there. What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever. What in the world? What is going on, Inspector Cabanela? The Rock of the Gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. Even now, the chain continues to grow ever longer. Inspector Cabanela's call proved that to us. The greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing the truth when I started. Alright, chapter 14 cleared. A new illustration, a new song. And oh boy, something's going on with Cabanela. But we have learned more of the past of this mysterious Rock of the Gods, and, though temporarily, gained a new ally with Missile, though he is somewhere else at this point. Oh boy. Well, anyways, with that, we've come to an end for this episode. What the heck is going on with Cabanela? If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for an upload, and please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.